Hello, it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. And today we are doing a lovely, juicy reading on what is your next first date going to be like. So if you're already seeing someone, this could potentially be like, what is your next date with them going to be like? But I'm mostly intending this to be for like people who are single and you're wondering, what is your next first date going to be like? What are they going to be like? Etc., etc. So I've got 3 piles here, pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. I'll put the picture up so you can meditate and be drawn to your pile, or maybe you're drawn to more than one, and I will see you at your reading. So pile number 1, what is your next first date going to be like? Okay, so first of all, I'm hearing the song Dancing with Our Hands Tied by Taylor Swift, and I feel like you should totally listen to that song. So there's a sense of being bound or like your hands tied, but you're still kind of like dancing. You're still vibing. Maybe there is dancing, here at whatever it is you're doing, you're going to be dancing. Something here like that potentially could be. It's not necessarily a given. Now, the next thing is I'm getting a ton of information here from this stack, which makes me feel like you are going to be getting a ton of information here about this person that you're going on a date with, which is great news, right? Like you're trying to get to know them. So I feel like you really, really do connect on this like conversational talking kind of a level, and you're not talking about meaningless crap either. You're talking about like real things and a wide variety of things here too, because I'm picturing you both like holding a world and like pointing at it and gesturing to it. So it could be that you're not from the same places, so you're talking about where it is that you're from, where it is that you've been or traveled to, different experiences that you've had that have been really exciting or interesting or have made you who you are in some way. Potentially one or both of you has a trip coming up or you're going somewhere and you're excited about it and you talk about like why that is or about that place. I also feel like you could be talking about certain like world events, like broader world topics, like talking about your viewpoint of different things that are kind of going on, different cultural things, religious things, kind of more highbrow conversations. So you're getting to understand how the person's mind, brain works and their opinions on things and just how they approach processing information. And I also feel like you guys talk about really deep kind of like personal things about your family, about your emotions, about things that you've been through, maybe things that have marked you here as well. I get the sense that at least one or both of you could have potentially just gotten out of a relationship that was like very, very hard, very deep, very traumatic, very scarring, something here like that. And the only, I don't really think that I need to give this, but like the only thing that I would caution you is there is a sense here, especially if there's like a masculine energy that is coming back into town, that he potentially could be getting out of a relationship and it feels very long-standing, long-term, of maybe there was a family, like shared property, like it was like very much involved, and he may not have fully closed that chapter there. And I'm just saying that's something to kind of be aware of. There is also potentially a possibility that this person is like has a family and just maybe they travel for work and then they get on the dating sites and try to pretend that they are single when they're not. That's not the overarching energy here in this pile. It's just something that I think that you should, kind of just be aware of. But I think you already are, because I do feel like you're in the heart of the moment with this. You're not really, both of you are in the heart of the moment. You're not really expecting for it to really go anywhere. And I feel like both of you are in this kind of Yeti hermit energy where you're a bit cold. You're standing firmly in your independence. You're not expecting anything from the other person. And I think honestly, because of that, both of you can be more open and honest, and the conversation and the date can kind of flow more than you were expecting it to. Now, the other thing is I feel like you're getting a lot of information here about the date itself. And there's definitely some kind of a gathering here involved with this. So it makes me think maybe there's a pamphlet because this is like a festival or a concert or like a state fair or something that like happens, but it's like there's like a flyer of like it starts at this time, this concert on this stage starts at that time, here's like all the booths and the activities that are available in different tents or barns or whatever, some kind of like information like that. So it could potentially be that that you're going to a festival or a concert or something here like that, but more the vibe that I'm getting, I think there's something very impromptu here about this date. So and there is also a vibe here that somebody is like coming back into town or just coming into town here, and so maybe that is what makes it like very impromptu. So you could see this person out at like a concert or a festival, but there's also very strong vibes here of a reunion, maybe like a family reunion or a reunion just of like friends that used to like work at the same place or have the same hobby or that are from the same town, because there really is this vibe of like almost like the 4th of July, because I'm picturing like a reunion at a park, and there's a potluck and music and sunshine and lawn games and just old, people just like getting back together to reunite and just enjoy each other and kind of like, throw some bean bags into a cornhole, that there's that kind of vibe. But again, there's still be a lot of information about that because it's like the planning and okay, can everybody be available at this time? And it's going to be at this park, and you get what I'm saying. And so then I feel like you could potentially see this person there or meet this person there. And then you just start a conversation, and it's almost like the two of you kind of end up like kind of fractioning off, and the two of you end up talking in this like really, like I said, very deep kind of profound sort of way. And I'm hearing a lot of music in my head. So now I'm hearing Sam Hunt, Raised on It, which again, it's like, I was born and raised on it, so that's like that hometown kind of a vibe. But then I'm also hearing rope swinging in the water in the middle of the night. So I really feel like the two of you, it's like it starts off maybe during the day as like this barbecue potluck festival vibe. I do feel like there's music kind of playing here in the background because it's this fun kind of like casual sort of a vibe. And then like the two of you talk like into the night. I just heard holding hands, but I feel like the two of you talk into the night, like literally until daybreak, like literally until the sun comes up. But I feel like you're talking, but you're really enjoying each other, because I really like the way that you guys feel about each other, but I can see that there's a little trepidation here as well. But I feel like this person feels really at home with you. Like just when the two of you come together, when the two of you are around each other and you just like talk, you both feel like very almost calmed and comforted, but you have really good conversation. And I feel like it's very lively. I also feel like it's very passionate between the two of you as well. But there is just a sense of like, like coming home, being at home, feeling safe. But I can see that there's this other side of like for both of you, it's like just being afraid of what it is that you don't know. Potentially hear about the way this person feels. I'm hearing about there could be questions here about passion. Like, is there somebody else in the background? Because you're wondering if it's a third party situation. I think both of you are. And for some of you, I literally am getting that you could potentially have met this person like on a dating app, and so you've been talking and trying to figure out when it is that you can meet, and this person has to like come back in. So you're just wondering like, are you fully single? Are you full of shit? Like what has deeply scarred you from your past? You're kind of going through that. That's a possibility. But for others of you, I feel like this was like sort of a missed close encounter here from your past, where there was always these kind of like passionate feelings between the two of you, but you just like you missed each other. And I'm hearing 25. So maybe this was like around, maybe you're 25, or this was like around when you were 25, or I don't know, something here like that. But yeah, it's like you met each other on, because 25 is a very significant age. It's when the brain fully develops. And I'm hearing Young, Dumb, and Broke, another song. I feel like there's definitely music playing here in the background. But while we're young, dumb, and broke. So I feel like there's certain things like fears and illusions that you have about each other's behavior. And both of you seem to have this, if this is a past connection, that you can really attribute to being young, dumb, and broke or something here like that. Now, so I feel like you're staying up all night, really, under the stars, like maybe having a drink. This does not feel like getting sloppy drunk or anything like that. Just kind of eating some food by a river. That's kind of what I'm picturing. And maybe there is like a rope swing or something, because I feel like you're breaking it up with doing something like spontaneous and fun. But to be honest, it doesn't exactly feel sexual. I feel like if there's something, there's definitely like passion here and deep feelings and attraction, but there is this sense like if there's something that's sexual that happened, it could be small. Like maybe you do hold hands or you kiss or something like that. But I feel like deep intimacy that's going on here has more to do with conversation and actually like kind of melding your souls together. You know, you're actually making like a real connection here with this person. I do get that something looms over them, and this I think is another shared energy. There's something that looms over them here about the past, and I'm hearing, you know, smoke follows beauty, baby. And this is reminding me of the feminine energy that I picked up on the last reading I did for the channel in pile number 2, and I called that energy the maiden. And I feel like for a lot of you that's probably your energy. And I hate that I've been getting this energy lately, but I've really been picking up on some like very traumatic, untoward, maybe non-consensual happenings that have happened here towards this maiden. At the very least, she was taken advantage of here in some way, and that could potentially like weigh on her mind. But this masculine energy as well, I feel like there's something here in his past that, and I'm hearing, you get tired of my control. So there could have been like another relationship here where somebody is like really aggressive and territorial and after them for something, maybe because they have a family and they owe like child support. This feels like from another place, like maybe they moved, you know, like away from this, whatever. And if it's not like because of a family that they've built, you know, like with a wife or a child, something like that, then it's like another kind of family situation where they may owe money. They feel controlled by something, and they feel like potentially getting involved with this feminine energy might draw negative attention to her, and somebody could be like very aggressive towards her. But you both have issues with poisons here from your past, and I think this is what where the illusion is. Either you know about it or you don't. It's just, you know that you've already been through something. You get what I mean. It's like you could kind of know a little bit about the other person, and that then your fears like really run wild with it about who they are, or it's just you're scared of people in general in this way. But with the Magician here, I feel like both of you are actually feeling like you have everything that you need to confront your own fears, and that may equate in your mind to confronting the other person, actually going on a date, you know, actually having this conversation, actually trying to connect with another person, or with this person in general, because, you know, that Dancing with Our Hands Tied song says, I loved you in secret. So, first sight, yeah, we love without reason. So if this is somebody from your past, then it's like somebody you had deep, very intense, passionate feelings for. You were probably worried that they were connecting with other people. They were also worried that you were connecting with other people. You both thought you cared more for other people than you actually did. And you're feeling ready to confront the truth here about this situation. Because I feel like you both are in this hermit energy, which I really like, where you're feeling independent. You're feeling somewhat like distant from this. And you're feeling solid enough, like you're not expecting anything from the other person. You're not hanging your hat on anything. It really is like you're just in the heart of the moment. You really are just in the moment, just kind of like seeing, you know, whatever comes from this. And I feel like with the 8 of Wands down here, you are going to receive the information you need and it will, I think, release you of your fears here in some way, shape, or form. I think it's going to make you respect the other person quite a bit more. And I do want to say this feminine energy, I feel like I can't shake the fact that she's been taken advantage of in some way here in her past. And I feel like this King of Wands character, which is probably the person she's going on a date with, is looking at that more closely. Like maybe he knows this person. I don't know. Some of you already know this person. But he's looking at this other human being more closely, like, whoa, I gave you too much credit. I feel like, yeah, there's a redistribution of like the respect and the credit and where it was just like very naturally being applied. I also feel like something gets cleared up here in terms of passion, that you both have passion for each other and not for whoever else you both thought, you know, or feared, because that's another thing. You both have passion for each other, and also loyalty, because I think, again, with the King of Wands actually can be very committal, but he has to come up through the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So this King of Wands, this masculine energy, could potentially have had a history of being non-committal, but is actually, there's some information that comes in about him for her during this date that makes her feel like, oh, maybe this guy is serious, maybe this guy is loyal or wants to be loyal here. But I feel like you're revealing each other's heart, but it's like this small flame that can then be kind of like stoked after this. And it feels like an ending to a cycle. And yes, it's an ending of a cycle here with each other. And I feel like it's an ending to the cycle of your own fears and illusions here in this situation. Potentially it's an ending to a cycle of like trauma. But again, this could potentially be with like, if this has been a nasty relationship, well, I'm really not getting that. Like, if you know this person, I feel like this was a closer encounter, but I feel like maybe for both of you, this is an end to a cycle of like fears and illusions and being treated badly in relationships, getting into relationships with people who are trying to control you, or keeping secrets from you, or who just want you for sex, and that kind of a thing. But it's also corresponding with a cycle within yourself, regardless of what happens to this with this person. But there is really actually potential here, like especially if this isn't a dating, if there is potential here in this situation for this to be a very long-term thing, but it's very measured and it's very like sober. You're taking steps very eyes wide open and very soberly. Both of you are. This also, though, marks an end to a cycle of your own fears and illusions here. I feel like there's a lot of healing that is going on here in this space, and there's some kind of reconciliation happening, I think, either between the two of you, but this maybe corresponds with reconciliation within yourself. Here as well. Both of you are seeing each other as being very incredibly attractive. With the Page of Swords, you're confused. You're trying to learn more here about one another, and I think you're wanting to turn a corner. That's really the vibe. You're wanting to turn a corner here. Now, I do feel like potentially this impromptu date situation, it may come to an end. So it's like maybe somebody's back in town, but they're only in town for a short period of time. I'm hearing 8 days, 14 days, maybe a month, something here like that. They're really only in town for a limited period of time. So this like kind of reconnection period comes to an end, but I think you stay in touch. I think you stay in contact. And maybe you text, maybe you send messages on social media, you send emails, or you're connecting through whatever the dating app is, something like that. And you really are like more and more kind of focused on each other. I'm really getting, and this is like marking some kind of big change in your fortune. And because we've got this Scorpio Sagittarius axis here really, really strong, which is a Gandanta point. I talk about it a lot. That particular Gandanta point, which is the hardest one in the entire zodiac, comes up a lot in my readings. It takes a lot to overcome that. And it's between Jesha and Mula. King of Wands is often Jesha energy for me. Jesha is usually, there can be something interesting about the speech, the masculine speech. So could have like a dry, scratchy kind of a voice. Maybe like he speaks in an interesting tone, or like has an accent because he's not, like there's somebody here who's not from there, there's something here with like the voice on the masculine energy. But Jesha energy can be a very womanizing energy because astrologically speaking, they need a lot of this is gonna be graphic, like lubrication in order for their soul to move on to the next level. So I feel like they've maybe gotten that out of their system. It could have led to some kind of poison here, and it could have been they accidentally got somebody pregnant, or something like that. But that might be the information that comes in. Oh, I see. You understand that this behavior is problematic. Let's turn the corner to something else, and that really does change like the fortune here. And this feminine energy, I don't think got enough respect here in the past because it corresponds with the elder sister. A lot of responsibility, very little respect. And she's ready to turn the corner here in that, where she's stronger and more independent. And so she's turned, I like that this is corresponding with like very healthy, positive changes and transformations within each of you. I think you're both looking at each other like, you could really build like a house and a home and like really have it all here with this person. I think there's a lot of traction here as well. And I really, the hallmark of this date is putting your fears aside, putting your fears to bed. Either about this person in particular, because they're from your past and you felt very intensely for one another, but it was like a missed opportunity. Or because you have just come out of a really bad, negative relationship or traumatic experience where I'm hearing you thought you were never going to be able to trust again, never going to be able to love again, never going to be able to put yourself out there, and you go out. If it's that situation, then I feel like you potentially go out on this date with somebody that you don't know. And regardless of whether it works out, this represents a turning point where you can trust yourself. And I think this person lights a little spark inside of you where it's like, what's out there. I think the conversation and the banter and stuff, you're like, there's really good things to be experienced by connecting with other people. So this to me feels like a big game changer, this date. Whether you end up with this person long term or whether you don't, this is putting an end to negative cycles. And it's all because you trust yourself. You have become independent. You're not expecting anything from one another, which actually allows both of you to be more honest and vulnerable with one another here. And you're just in the heart of the moment. I also feel like there's a lot of fun here going on as well. I'm picturing people eating on a balcony. And again, like this, I kind of feel like that might be a hallmark of this. So like if you do hang out a lot in this like 8-day, 14-month, like, you know, or 8-day, 14-day, month-long period, if you end up going out more than once, because that's also a potential here, then there's something like you go out and you eat at places where you're eating outside or you're eating on a balcony or there's live music or entertainment. This feels like very fun, but it's like in the backdrop of fun, there's something really deep, intense, and meaningful happening. I feel like this is really energy work. Like this, and there's something about being in each other's space, being in each other's aura that ends up changing your mind here as well. I feel like there's a lot of downloads because this is reminding me of K2, like with the headlessness of this man. And K2, first of all, it's like K2 individuals are very strong. They're very potent. They're very virile and they're very different. They stand out. So this person stands out to you in a way that's very sexy, very attractive. And somebody here could have potentially been very destructive in the past. But I think they're kind of getting a handle on it. And, you know, K2 is also the sage. So both of you probably have very strong, I just heard interesting spiritual beliefs. Maybe there's some changes and transformations, a deepening in regards of that here as well that you guys are discussing. But it feels like, yeah, this background of very like fun, casual, lighthearted, like, you know, it almost feels like day drinking, going out, getting some barbecue, you know, but then there's something really deep, profound, and meaningful that's happening within each of you, but also between each of you. And this time for you to be around each other in the physical is actually changing the energy, it's energy work. It's changing your energy, their energy, the energy, like between the two of you. You're definitely getting something from each other, from being around. And if you do have sex, then I don't think it's going to be happening the first night. But I feel like it's going to change something there too. Like, and I feel like whatever is left unsaid or confused about in the conversation, I feel like when you have sex with this person, that will get cleared up as well. Because there could potentially be very passionate sex here. And it's like, I'm hearing your body can't lie to me. There's something like that where you recognize like, okay, no, this person's like the real deal. You know, something here like that. But there is a sense that I think both of you fear something here about your past disrupting or interrupting this, whether this is a person, a circumstance, a pattern, whatever it is. Like you are fearful of that, but I think you're both like extremely open and honest, and you're willing to maybe take the chance on it. And it's because you don't have to have the whole kit and caboodle. You don't have to have the whole fairy tale planned out. Like, well, I have every single color of our wedding palette already picked out, and I will send these invitations the second we go on our first date. You know what I mean? And it's just so much pressure. Like both of you are just kind of like, all right, you're messed up, I'm messed up. I got some stuff in my past. You got some stuff in your past. I like you. That's what it is. I like you. It is what it is. And you're just kind of going with that. And I feel like that's going to lead to something really deep, really passionate, really magical, and potentially you're seeing in the other person that I'm hearing grown up, they're very independent and responsible. Something here like that. So let's get some messages. Okay, not now is flipped over. So again, there is something here about timing where if you know this person in the past, maybe it was like, oh, not now. Like you maybe potentially sense this is going to be deep and you both weren't ready, one or both of you wasn't ready. Or if this is like a new person, then like I said, I think they were potentially getting out of a relationship that was very serious and they were thinking like, maybe I'm not ready to date, but it's like, they're just trying to get out there. And that might be why it's like, listen, I'm not trying. They're very honest about like, I'm not trying to turn this into a thing. I just got out of a relationship, you know? But I feel like this is really good energy. And okay, I'm being told to pull some of these upside down because I think this is more about what is not like what's being tipped. You guys are currently both going through like some kind of transformation. So it's not about what you are. It's about what you no longer are. Does that make sense? It's about the energy that you're no longer in. And this I feel stuck is also in reverse. I've liked you for a really long time. I find you interesting. If you let me, I'll take care of you. Love will keep us together. I'm still healing. I am who I am. And that to me is a mature way of approaching relationships. I am who I am. I know that card, like whenever it comes out, feels like maybe it's supposed to be bad, like somebody, because it's in all caps and it feels like somebody's shouting it at you, like, I am who I am. But like, you are who you are. And there are some things about who we all are as people that are open for change. And there are other things that are foundational and are not open for change. And I think you can have a mature conversation here about this. I also think you're both owning your faults. I'm having wild thoughts about you. You've changed me. Yeah, I think after you have this meeting, you're both, you feel my creativity. I feel you're unpredictable. I've been thinking about you a lot. But that unpredictability, it's like, I just don't really know where this is going. Neither one of you do. But I feel like that's a place of power. That's a place of magic. And that is a place of passion here in this connection. I'm hearing play around with this. Spirit is also teaching you that good things happen when you just open your heart to the moment, when you're just open to new experiences, when you're open to exploring your fears, when you're open to having a conversation, and you don't just shut down because of your fears and just allow your fears to paint some kind of like weird warped picture all over people because of what you've experienced in your past. Spirit is trying to heal your heart. I'm hearing sing your heart back to life. That's why there's so much music here as well, is because Spirit is trying to sing your heart back to life. There's like a tuning going on with your heart. Yeah. So that's what I have for you guys, pile number 1. That is what I see going on here for your next first date. If that resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye, guys. Wow. Okay. Pile number 2. This person is damn serious. Like very, very, very serious about you. Okay. So what is your next first date? So I feel like this person could potentially be a friend, and they have been keeping their feelings for you a secret, because I think for a lot of these people, they were wrapped up in some kind of a powerful cycle, and it feels like they're coming towards you and they're going to reveal themselves to you, and it might honestly like catch you off guard here that this person's available or that they're offering themselves or a date. They might like come out of completely nowhere, right? Almost in your mind. But I do get a sense that you know this person already. I think you're friends, even if it's like you're friends through a broader like group or network of people, something here like that. And when all of this goes down, this person has just completed some kind of a really powerful cycle. And I do get this sense that something bad has actually happened here, either between the two of you, like you're coming out of a really rocky time in your life, maybe a bad relationship, or you're grieving or something here like that. But I think this person, something here has ended for this person for sure, like a very powerful, big kind of an ending. I'm hearing for some of these people, this was like 20 years long. So, and because of the ending of this cycle, this person may actually have come into some kind of money. So like it could be that a parent has died and now this person has inherited something, and maybe their parent was sick for a long time, or things weren't really great with their parent. Everything was kind of rocky, and their parent died. So they're having to deal with that, and it's really hard, and they're grieving, but it has in a way kind of set them free. For some of these people, could potentially be an ending of a powerful cycle with a spouse, either through divorce, could potentially be through death here as well. So either way, I feel like this person for sure has really gone through something, but I think maybe you have as well. And there's a sense here from this person's side of you really being almost in your own world, like very serene. I think some of you could potentially be readers or daydreamers, introverts for sure. Not that you're not social. I think you're actually very pleasant to interact with, and you may actually have like a wide network of a friend circle and a lot of friends, but there is a sense of you being independent and being almost like this romantic dreamy kind of a character here to this person. They think that you are very sweet and innocent and small. So either like you could potentially be small in your build, but or you're just smaller than this person, because this person could potentially be very large in their size. Like either they're really tall or they're really like bulky or husky or something like that. But they're seeing you as like a really small person, and maybe they see that you yourself have gone through some kind of a precarious time, and it may actually have to do with finances or something, and this person feels like they need to kind of get your attention, and I feel like they've been trying to ask about you. I'm hearing ask you out. They've been trying to ask you out. They've been kind of thinking about this here for a while, and maybe some of them have been waiting on whatever this ending was, because I can't entirely figure out what this is. Because not for all of them is it a relationship, but I do feel they've been wrapped up in something, like their energy has been wrapped up in something like really, really heavy. So this person has been wanting to ask you out here for a while, and I feel like this is actually really, really divinely guided. And this person is actually having kind of like low self-esteem here about this, even though I feel like this person is like something great. Like you would look at this person and think of them as something great. Like I'm hearing they're tall, or they're accomplished, or they're handsome, or they're strong, or they give guidance or something like that. But this person is still like trying to protect themselves, and they do feel a little bit insecure here to approach you. First of all, because they don't want to bother you. I think there's a sense that of you kind of being happy like in your own world, or happy doing your own thing. They don't want to bother you. It's almost like, they don't know how to break the ice or like approach you to begin with. So I do kind of get this sense that this is going to be very traditional. Like I think this person is just going to maybe just like approach you. I am kind of picturing though, like maybe whenever you're hanging out with friends, this person kind of like stands close to you or something, or gets close to you, and then just kind of like reveals things. I think if you watch this person, you'll know that they kind of look at you, and it's a very intense kind of a look, and you might like kind of feel a vibe or like a determination about them, and you might have just only thought like, like in passing, like they seem like they want to talk to me, or I don't know, something like that. Because I get the sense you kind of just like flit about a space, even that like maybe flitting in and out of like friend groups or social circles, or maybe you flit in and out of different like community events or something like that, and this person just kind of like notices this sort of about you. And they might even feel that you're in a stage of your life where you're not accepting offers or something like that. But like I said, this person is damn serious about this. So like they want the whole kit and caboodle. They want you around them. I'm hearing like, I want to put you in my home. I will fill it with books if that's what it takes. Like, I'm picturing in Beauty and the Beast where he like just gifts her the library for herself. So this person really does want to give to you. And I do think they're afraid of being judged. Like maybe they're afraid of you judging them. They don't want to be like turned down by you, because they might even feel that you're not accepting offers. And it could be because like you're very independent, pile number 2. So and happy that way and fulfilled, right? But so when you go out actually like on this date, I feel like it is going to be very traditional, because I feel like this person is going to want to, I think, show you off, but not in a gross way. This person just thinks that you're beautiful. I mean, you're it for this person. This person has like zoomed in and they're like, this is not a person who's like trying to date, just to date. They're not trying to get out there just to get out there. This person is like, pile number 2 is my person. I know it. I just need to, approach them and put myself out there, basically. And this is also not a person, like, they are thinking about how to approach you, they're really considering you in that, but there's no like growth strategy or anything like that around this either. So they've definitely like chosen you almost. So, but it is going to be very traditional. And I get the sense that this person kind of, likes to show you off, and they really are looking forward to you like looking cute and dressing up. And I think this person likes when you are just like casual. They like, there's something about, it's not that they want you to dress up in like fancy clothes. This person just likes when you dress up like yourself, because I feel like you have some kind of style or flair. This person also really likes you in a dress, so they might try to take you somewhere where they think you would wear a dress, something like that. I do think they want to take you to dinner though, and they want to kind of show you off. They like people seeing the two of you together and knowing that you are on a date and that you're associated. This is a person who's going to open the door for you. They're going to pull out your chair for you. They're going to make sure that you're okay and comfortable, and I think, like I said, I think that I think this person would make a reservation. They may even request a certain table that's really a nice table that's isolated, where they're going to put a lot of thought into where it is that they're going to take you, because this person wants alone time. They want to pull you away from like your friend group and any other chit chat or chatter, because I get the sense that this person has maybe only been able to hang out with you around other people where they don't want to have to fight or compete for your attention. This is a person who really wants to like have you all to themselves. I think this person feels like it's hard to get you all to themselves, either because you have so many friends or because you're very intellectual, or you always have some other things on your mind. So they're really excited to just get you alone, like get you into a place where you're at a table and they get your attention and you get their attention, and your focus is on them and their focus is on you, and everything's just really nice and really comfortable. I think this person takes quite a bit of pleasure in feeding you and making sure that you are taken care of and that your needs are being met. And I think this person likes that other people are made to wait on you, that you have people attending to your needs, because I think this person just feels like you deserve that, and you like that. This person also thinks you're a bit of a paradox here in some kind of a way, because you are very cute and fun and casual, but I think you're also maybe like, again, brainy or intellectual or introverted, and this person really likes that dichotomy within you. And I'm hearing no judgment. Like this person really truly means like no judgment, no judgment. I really do like that. It keeps me on my toes. It keeps me guessing. And I feel like this person could just listen to you talk for hours, and they kind of intend to. This person does want to open up to you as well, because this might be a person who struggles to open up. There might just be like an air of coolness around this person and secrecy, but really this person is a thinker. They have a lot going on in their mind, and they are a very passionate person here as well. I feel like they just don't show that for whatever reason. They might actually have a leadership position or something like that, so they just don't feel like like they can really necessarily show that, but they want to show that to you. And again, like I'm noticing the sides blocked off. It's like they don't want to show it to anybody else, but they want to show it to you. They want you to know. They also want you to know that they are very interested in you and that they're going to treat you right. And that they want you to know this. This is also a person who may want to, not too soon, but they want to take you on vacation, and take you out to like nice restaurants and nice hotels and nice. They want to surround you with nice views and calm, and they want to take care of you. This person is a real like carer. They want to take care of you. And, I'm hearing in all ways, like this person, okay, they're really emphasizing the bedroom, like in and out of the bedroom. This person, I think they really do like taking you out to dinner and then taking you home. And like all of that though, it's like meeting all of your needs like in one night. They really like that, like to take a chunk of time and really do that. There's also a person who might like to rub your feet, or they just want to make sure that you are like, I'm just hearing like a, from you, like take a load off, come here, rest on me, like take a load off. So I think that you would have like a very nice, very traditional conversation. I do think that both of you, like with this Aquarian energy, you could be big, broad thinkers, progressive thinkers, pushing the boundaries kinds of thinkers in some type of way. And I feel like you really connect here on that. And in ways that other people might actually judge you for your opinions, like you really do connect on that. There's just a sense of you being a reader and like you really expanding your mind. And this, like, I think you might have read some of the same books or be familiar with some of the same like concepts or topics or things like that. Yeah, so this person's definitely gonna want to pay for the date. They're going to ask you out again. They're gonna take you to your door. This person really does like want to do it right, and they might even say that to you. Also, in terms of the restaurant that they take you to, I feel like it's gonna be interesting food, different food. I'm hearing ethnic food, some kind of food that you haven't like experienced or tried before. Maybe there's some kind of like an experience, but it's not gonna be loud or like boisterous because this person really does want to get to know you. They want that to like be the vibe. They want a container kind of like around the two of you. But they may take you out for like a type of food that you never had before, or that might be their favorite food. And like even like with that, like okay, if it's their favorite food, then they're kind of having like an adventure, like with your palate and stuff. Like okay, look at the menu. We'll get anything that you want, but trust me on the appetizer, okay? And this person may want to order for you, like okay, trust me on this. And they might honestly like have fun where you order like I'm picturing finger foods and like just a lot of different like choices, like almost not necessarily tapas, but maybe like kind of tapas style, they want you to just like almost like they're bringing in this element of like different and fun and exciting and adventurous like on the table, and then this person really does want to like actually get to know you. That's really the focus here of this date. And honestly, like with this Hierophant card down here at the bottom, I mean, yeah, this person is trying to get serious with you. They really are. And I feel like this person is really gonna be pretty good at finding the balance between taking your lead of what you're comfortable with and not like pushing you too far. They don't want to tread too much on your independence. This person knows that. And even in terms of like your independent mind and stuff, like this person is going to take great care to like manage your independence while also pushing things forward, like pushing your relationship forward in a very solid, very matter of fact. This person's like a container, or like their energy feels like laying under a weighted blanket. And I think you might really actually like to cuddle with this person. I feel like this person is like a very grounding influence in your life. They may have big arms, like either they're long or they're like broad or big. And I'm just picturing them kind of coming up behind you. I feel like this person just wants to hold you down. And you may have actually like a lot of anxious energy about you. You could be an air sign or just like kind of a high strung kind of a nervous system. And this person does not have that. They are very grounded, very calm, and they want to almost just like give you their calmness, like a warm blanket, and they might actually think it's cute when I just heard Miss Frizzle. So maybe you have a little bit of that Miss Frizzle and the Magic School Bus, kind of an energy. Some of you potentially could be teachers. But yeah, like maybe you get like kind of frizzed out or like worried or stressed out or something like that. I definitely think that you don't have as much, like maybe you have like a clothes on your back kind of a feel, something like that. But yeah, this person just wants to kind of like be your anchor, be your tether, and not in a way that is like that old ball and chain either. It's like this person is like a big teddy bear, but I think they're serious, and I think they're taken seriously in the world, probably for their mind, their position, their intellect. Yeah, something here like that. And you maybe have had offers or like a string of relationships that I'm not even getting so much relationships. I'm getting like kind of dates, or experiences that have left you, they're boring, they're unfulfilling. You're just kind of apathetic. You're, not really excited about that. And then all of a sudden this person just kind of like comes in. I feel like maybe you didn't even realize this person was an option because they might have been in something here. Or they might have been at the periphery of your vision, where maybe you did kind of think that they were cute, but then they were so far away or they were so wrapped up in their job. This is definitely a person who could be very wrapped up in their job. I'm hearing they could have had their money wrapped up in their job. Oh, that could potentially be this too, where they do have money, but their money was like wrapped up so they couldn't take you out in the way that they wanted to, something here like that. So yeah, this person is going to be interested. This is I feel like you're a dichotomy in the way that I just described earlier in the reading, and this person is also a dichotomy where they seem like they are like maybe like they're grounded and they're very kapha in their energy, like they're very calming, but they're also unique and interesting and different. And I think that might catch you off guard with this person. So you're both like this really good mix of like weird opposite traits. And maybe this person has been judged for that in the past, either one way or the other. It's like they're too weird for their like traditional friends, but then they're too traditional for their like weird friends. So this person kind of like sits on the boundary. And I do feel like this person also has secrets. And it doesn't feel like bad secrets either. It just feels like they keep a lot of themselves to themselves because they've had these experiences where people don't understand them. And I think you could potentially be the same way, but you, that's what causes your flitting about, you know, kind of, you've just never found home base, you know? And yeah, that this person I think is that for you, and you are that for them, you know? And this person, because I think they want to have like a grounded home environment, but they like having you flit about within it, you know, and bring that life. Just similar to the table, and how the table is that traditional, like we have a bubble, and like the palette is going to be like lots of colorful foods, lots of interesting things, you know, similar to that. It's like, that's how this person likes their home space to be. They may have Aquarius energy in their fourth house, something here like that. Oh, this person has a secret because this is like very much a masculine energy that has been made to feel like they were responsible for something. And I think it has to do with money, or like a business, or pushing something forward. It could be their parents that blame them for something. There could have been like an inheritance on the line here. They blame them for being different. Or I'm hearing different, strange, like, I don't know. I feel like this person has been wrongly blamed for something, but they actually are beautiful. Like they have a beautiful energy, you know, that I'm hearing ahead of their time. This person's ahead of their time. And I also feel like this person is really successful. And I feel like I really like the energy here. This relationship could go the distance. We've got, I'm falling in love here on the bottom of the deck. I feel like this person has known that they were falling in love with you here for a while. I think during this date, you're going to kind of realize like, oh shit. Like, you know, we have a contender here, and this person is a contender, and they intend to contend. My intentions are pure. I really am getting this from this person. I wish you wouldn't push me away. And this person is trying to figure out how to handle you so that you don't push them away. I want you, but I shouldn't. I'm depressed. So I feel like this is this past energy, and maybe it's because of this influence. Whatever they were wrapped up in could have been a partnership. This is a long-term partnership, okay? And I feel like it was deeply unhappy. Maybe that was the secret, because this person felt like they needed to be stable, you know? I feel like they maybe come from like a very traditional background, but this person is like unique. This is reminding me, I went through a phase in my life where I was watching a lot of these documentaries about different religious communities, like the more ones where like there was like insane things happening. And there was this one boy, I think he was some form of Amish, and he was a photographer, and he was really, really good. And he had to get special permission from the elders and stuff to use the camera. And then every time somebody wanted him to take pictures, and it was like innocent stuff. It was like weddings and, you know, things like that. Even though he did art installations, and it was mostly like nature and things like that, he would have to get permission. And then eventually he started to make a big name for himself, and the elders got really upset, and they like shut it down. So then he had to actually choose to leave the community. He would have always stayed there, except for that. So then he had to make the choice to leave. And I'm not saying this person's Amish. I don't think they're Amish. But they do have like this traditional thing in their background where they may have had to choose to break out, or like it feels like they always had to cover up who they really are. I'm hearing, when will my reflection show who I am inside? And that's what this person doesn't like, is that they feel like they get judged. So they don't, okay, I get it. So they don't want you to judge them based on this like traditional, they don't want you to think that they're dull, or that they're boring, or that they wouldn't understand you, or that they're going to try to cramp your style because they have this traditional way. Because this person does have that like very grounded energy, okay? But part of it is because they were expected to have it. And this person wants to show you who they really are, because they feel like you actually vibe with it, that you actually won't judge them. So it's like this person's in a bit of a catch-22 where it's like their soulmate, which I feel like is you, potentially could judge them for their false mask, and they kind of know that they've built themselves up here in this way. So but it's caused this person to be depressed, like whatever it is that they have been in the past. They have gone through a long period of depression. This person may not have felt like they had a choice. I'm hearing I've no way out. This person felt like they had no way out, and so it's caused them to be depressed, and they want you but they shouldn't. But they feel like they're ready. They definitely think you're really hot. But this person thinks that you're hot on a lot of levels. Like with the 9 of Pentacles, they think that you're independent. I just heard sassy. You're really, really intelligent. You've got a lot going for you. I feel like you're healthy. This person sees you as a healthy choice. Not just like from society standards, but for them, for their inner heart. You know, for themselves, for what they want. They think that you are actually the healthy choice. This person loves to hear you talk. Loves to hear you talk. They love your mind. And here we've got, you've changed me with the Ace of Wands. And I feel like you've changed them. You've started to fuel their creativity. You've brought the real them like back to life, you know, is really what I'm getting. I'm spying on you. So yeah, I am getting that this person kind of like keeps an eye on you. I get the sense that you flit in and out. That's really what it is. And this person just kind of keeps an eye on you. You may have walked away from this person in the past. Maybe that's the judgment. and they're saying sorry for the way that I handled things. But this person's been under a lot of pressure. I feel like this is a person you may have gotten the wrong impression of who they are genuinely on the inside. And that's because this person has karma to repay, honestly, first and foremost, to their own self. Because I feel like this person has repeatedly betrayed themselves in the face of authority, whether it's parental authority, societal authority, like that church elder, kind of an energy. I'm even picturing like one person around them that has kind of convinced them. Okay, this is weird, but okay, so I like celebrity gossip and stuff. Like, shut up, you probably do too. So anyways, like, you guys have been following the whole, I don't know if I want to say it because it's such a controversial topic for some reason. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me not say what it is, okay? But there's this like celebrity where you probably are going to guess who this is, okay? So he's married to one person, but a lot of people think he should be married to another person, okay? But the person he's married to has this dad that like set them up, and like they got set up because of like church, and everything. And there was a lot of just almost like seemingly to me, I don't know, I'm not trying to cause a controversy, okay, in the comment section, but it's seemingly kind of NLP stuff where it's like just slipping in like, well, you're really this like traditional person with these values, and like, this would be the best choice for you. Like there could be a person in this person's life like that tries to tell them who they are so that it makes them want to live up to being that, and this person can live up to being that. So it sucks because I think this person has suffered because they are so strong and because they can actually match other people's expectations and because they have immense strength. And this person has immense strength, I think physically. This person definitely gives very good guidance, but also they're very, very smart. Like very smart, very intellectually capable. You guys will definitely meet on that front where I feel like your energy is more Mercury. So you might like to read a lot, talk really fast, talk a lot of different things, flitting around, new ideas, which like Mercury is like Gemini energy, right? Gemini is like the pollinator of the zodiac. Flies to this flower. Oh, isn't that interesting? Flies to that flower. Oh, isn't that interesting? And kind of cross pollinates, even in certain fields. It's like, well, they do this over here, and I wonder if it would work over here, right? And so you kind of cross pollinate with this person, but they're more Jupiterian. This person may actually be a teacher, but this would be like collegiate. This is somebody with like higher education or should have higher education. I think they probably would actually because they have the propensity for it, and I think they have the background for it where they could afford higher education. But they're coming off more like an authority, like in something. Yeah. But you have really good conversations, and I think that there's a lot of like mental connectedness here, and also like a lot of attraction. So, but this person, I think you're attracted to this person. I just don't think that it's been like, maybe it's been a secret. Okay. But I don't think it's also been an option, and this person's definitely been like wrapped up in something here in the past. So that's what I have for you guys. Pile number 2. That's your next first date. I really like this. This could definitely be the person that you marry. They're pretty intent on it. And there's nothing, I'm not seeing anything bad here from this. I think this person's really been through it actually. And you are just like an oasis, but like a fun oasis kind of a situation. This person really likes your hair. They like your everything. I just like your everything, Yeah. And they want you to look back at them. So maybe you've kind of moved away from their circle. They want you to look back at them. That's what I'm getting. So, okay, that's what I have for you guys. Pile number 2. If that resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye, guys. pile number 3, what is your next first date going to be like? Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm really not liking this energy. I don't really like this person. I don't like how they're looking at you, and I really, really hate their approach here to this whole first date scenario. Now, I know for a lot of you, you might be like, this isn't what I wanted to hear in this reading. This isn't like fun, but I just want to encourage you to keep listening because tarot is offering this message up for you. And I can see here that this person is a karmic from your previous lifetimes. I don't think this is an ex from this lifetime. Like I said, I think it's a karmic from previous lifetimes. And it would be really great for you. I feel like this is what your guides are wanting you to do, is to start to notice this scenario that I'm going to describe to you so that you understand what's happening. Like when you see this person, you can just sidestep this scenario here altogether. So with that being said, I don't necessarily think this person is like a bad person, right? Necessarily, but it's going to equate to bad things happening, like a painful ending, some kind of a betrayal, you feeling like handled or maneuvered or inconsidered, like not considered here in this situation, because this person is coming from such an ugly place within themselves, a place where they feel broken and insecure and not good enough. But this person has not gone within themselves to look at that directly. And because of that, it makes them a manipulator. I feel like this person actually really is a manipulator. They're a shapeshifter, and they're really, really good at watching you and figuring out who they need to be and present as in order to get your attention, in order to get you to start looking at them in a different way. This is a really big goal here of this person. And in order to get whatever it is that they want out of you here in this situation. And I do think that what this person wants out of you, pile number 3, is a long-term committed relationship. I think that it's just they're not going about it with sincerity and honesty and, I want to get to know you, get to know the real me. This is not this person's approach. Actually, this person is giving signs of wanting to sidestep some kind of traditionality here in dating. And I don't know how that's going to equate for you here in this first date scenario. This could be somebody who it's like, maybe you're drinking at a club. And so this person wants to try to just like hook up with you. And they think for some reason that's going to lead to like a longer term relationship. But also I do just want to give you this example from my own life because it could really be anything. Okay. So this was like maybe the strangest first date that I'd ever been on. And just like with this person, okay, because I think this is somebody that you could be friends with and there's maybe been distance or like you were really good friends with them, but then there's been distance, or potentially this could be somebody who you're friends with just kind of like loosely. They're more like on the perimeter here of your life, so you don't really know them all that well, right? So this was somebody that I thought I kind of knew, and I thought how weird could I find out this person is? But then we go out on this first date, which he assured me over and over again was not a big deal, and it was just going to be casual, and it's just a free dinner. Just let me take you to dinner, just blah. And so I go and literally he surprises me like we're going to go play with this like little dog, and then he shoves a clipboard into my hand and I look down and it says joint loan application, and he was trying to get us to share a dog, and he was trying to get me to sign $1,000 joint loan with him on our first date. Right? So you can see how that flips the traditional, like you get to know each other, you ask each other's credit score, you know what I mean? Like it flips the traditionality and the traditional timeline on its head, maybe in order to bind you and maybe literally to bind you into some kind of contract, or something like that. So that's just something to be aware of. So that was just from the vault of my life. But like I said, it could be anything. I just see this person is trying to like circumvent traditional dating metrics. Now, this is a person who feels like maybe they were never going to have a chance with you because of distance, potentially because this person thinks really, really highly of you, and they are viewing you. Okay, so let's talk about you actually here for just a second and the energy that you're in whenever you are going out on this date or considering going out on this date, because I can see that you've gone through some kind of a prolonged period of self-initiation. So some of you have been working really hard. Some of you could have been, in school going through some kind of a program, and it's summertime and you're like ready to kind of let loose and be free and enjoy yourself. For others of you, I feel like you've just gotten out of a relationship and it was a very painful ending, maybe very sudden and abrupt ending to a relationship that you are synthesizing as a betrayal. And you have been healing your energy after whatever this is. That was very intensive and kept you very self-focused here. It feels like for an extended period of time. And maybe you weren't accepting offers here with this hangman energy. You were kind of stagnating. so that you could heal and be in this like very self initiatory energy. And as you're kind of like starting to come out of this, that's when this person kind of sees their opening. They see an opportunity to make their move or to come back. And a big part of their goal with you is to get you to change how it is that they are, how it is that you see them. And that's where the shape-shifting energy comes in. And I feel like this person is going to try to present themselves as the King of Wands, somebody who is sexy, independent, in charge, confident, maybe somebody who is like a leader in their job. This person could have recently leveled up here in terms of their job. And somebody who's like able to make plans, maybe somebody who is like an entrepreneur. This person is going to come off very masculine to you with the King of Wands, the Emperor energy, and Cernunnos. That is a very masculine kind of an energy. Now, also, I feel like this could potentially be happening at the end of Cancer season. So I would really watch Cancer season, which of course that's like, you know, springtime into summer. It's just as the summer is kind of ramping up. And I think for a lot of you, that is like literally the time period that this is going to happen. But it also, like I said, you're going through this period of selfish initiation. So it could be metaphorical in terms of like, you know, your own spring into summer. But I think for a lot of you, I'd really watch the last couple weeks, maybe, I don't know, better safe than sorry, in my opinion, of Cancer season, where you're really moving kind of slow. The other thing is like this person, you might be out drinking. And so it could be that like you're seeing this person in a new environment that you've seen them in before. And then maybe you having a couple of drinks and the way that they're trying to position themselves gets you to be like, oh, you know what? I never really noticed that pile number 3 is got their stuff together, you know? And I can see this person may want to talk about their like family values, their traditional values, their family, their job, their like leveling up, you know, they really are trying to do that. This person, potentially as well, like they may have somebody else that they are talking to. That's another thing to keep in mind. But it's like this person really wants you, and they may have been talking to this person since around Easter time, like at the beginning of spring. So it's not like very serious. It could be an ex that they're like, you know, reconnecting with or something. But like I said, they see their opportunity with you and they're like, wait, hold on. Like, I didn't realize pile number 3 was a possibility. I thought it was never going to be a possibility. So that's what I mean. It's like, I don't like this approach because I don't think this person is actually dating. Like maybe they're dating this other person. Like, I don't think that they're just like out there dating a bunch of people. It's like because they see their opportunity with you, they're trying to date you. And that could potentially be why they're trying to sidestep traditional, you know, things here, courtship practices, because they may have somebody else. That's not going to be for all of them, but it could potentially be. And this person is wanting some kind of a new beginning here with you, basically where they're the King of Wands. And the other thing that I want to say about this is this person feels like they haven't gotten the respect that they deserve in their past. And I feel like this could potentially be overall. This to me comes off as a person who, like I said, they don't want to actually truly do their inner work, where they're building themselves as a human being from the inside out, and they're really doing it, even though it takes longer to actually really become that. This is a person who chases like position, power, in order to kind of sidestep this place inside of them that feels like the five of swords, that feels like they're never going to win. And because of that, this person feels justified in taking, like in trying to stack things in their favor and sneaking around and, you know, not being, I just heard righteous, not being upright in how they approach things, because they feel like they always lose. What am I supposed to do? Just like always lose? This person has a bit of a chip on their shoulder about this. And they're looking at you not as another human being who is also on your soul's journey and somebody worthy of respect. They're looking at you as like an objective. And I think this person also sees you as some kind of like arm candy. They see you as like an angel, some kind of like divine elevated being, somebody, they're incredibly sexually attracted to you. And I feel like this person knows that you want a King of Wands type person. They know that they're not that. It's not that this person, I feel like this person has like potential. They could potentially be great, you know, and like in their own way. But they know that you want this King of Wands person, and this person does understand that they're not the King of Wands person. So there could be another King of Wands that is around you, and this person kind of knows that the two of you are copacetic, like the two of you kind of belong together, should be together, or it's just a person that they made up in their mind that they know you're looking for that kind of a person, and then this person wants to kind of slip into the skin of that person that they think you should be within your mind and pretend to be that. This person with the Queen of Swords, they want to be strategic about this. They want to not have any emotions about this. They don't want to look at the ethics or the morals or the fairness of how it is that they are treating you. I also get the sense that this person is trying to, in some way, shape, or form, use you and their relationship with you to not feel controlled by something. And they blame you for this as well, too, because I think this person feels controlled by their attraction to you. See what I mean? I really do not like this perspective where I heard this word pissant. Like, I'm from the Midwest in the US, and that's something that I've really only heard there. It's like just somebody kind of insignificant. But yeah, this person is kind of feeling in that way. But yeah, this person wants to like sever ties here with an emperor. Maybe this is their own father, or like they feel controlled here by something, and it's like their low self-esteem. Okay, I get it. So this person wants to like use you and their association with you and how they're gonna try to maneuver that like super hard in order to not feel controlled by this like low self-esteem or feeling like they're never going to win or feeling like they're not powerful. I'm hearing arm candy. This person wants you on their arm. And I think that there might be something where it's like associating with you gives them, I'm hearing automatic alpha status. Because I think this person knows that other people are interested in you. And I kind of think this person wants to talk down to other people, like about relationships and about being in relationships, or like, oh, well, you know, you got to do this or you got to do that, because they feel like hot shit because if they're with you, you know? And I also feel like this person would lie to people and make it seem like, you know, you were maybe more like they're gonna lie, steal, and cheat like to get you. This person is not trying. They're not worried about the ethics of whatever it is that they're doing. That's what I really want to alert you to. And I feel like this is why this person is a karmic. They need to actually learn that matters of the heart are not best dealt with using strategy. You know, like, you can strategize to try to physically get someone in some way, like try to capture or trap them, but it doesn't mean that they love you. It's not, you know, they're still not choosing you. So then you still are left with this like hole inside of yourself. This person has to learn that for themselves, but it's why they end up betraying you and anybody else that is kind of around them, because they don't approach social relationships correctly and healthfully. But yeah, this person is just, they want a new beginning here for themselves. And this person may, they want to change the old order of things, but using you to do that as just kind of like this numbing cream almost. Like, well, I bagged pile number 3, so it must have something going on for me, you know? And they want people to change the way that they're looking at them. I feel like this person wants respect, and they feel like being with you, maybe they think it would be like a more traditional setup and or they want to manipulate that. So again, like, this is a person who's not above trying to trap you in a contract, you know, trap you with a baby, trap you with something, you know, like they're just trying to maneuver you into some kind of long-term situation. It's really, really awful. And you're just in this like free space where I think you're trying to let loose, because I can see here that it's like you really need a good time. You need to let loose. You need to go out. You need to have fun, and you need it to be casual. And you need that kind of breath of fresh air, because I feel like life has been really relentless or monotonous, or you've been very responsible, and you're just wanting to have a good time. But this is not the person to have your guard down around, because, you know, and I get the sense too that this person has been a friend to you in the past, like just in name only, you know, like because you hang out with the same people or something like that. But so when you have friends, people that you think are safe, people that you think are cool, people that you think you can trust, inevitably your guard is going to be down around them at some point in time. And this is a person who's going to try to capitalize on that. And they also want to not have a conscience about it too. Also, this person is really trying to cut your ties here with another emperor. So if you're getting out of a relationship, then they just want to make sure that that's like, this person can't come back. You know what I mean? This person's really bullish about their pursuit of you. So please be aware of this person. This is not a safe person. And again, I think their personality is probably fine, probably lovely. You know, you're probably friends with this person here for a reason, but you don't understand that it's like this, it's like, I'm picturing a black hole in their heart space. It's like literally a vacuum. It's like that is what makes this person act out. I don't think they're trying to hurt you. I just really don't think that they think much about you at all and your needs, outside of you being a trophy, outside of you being arm candy, outside of you being, you know, their ticket to self-esteem. That's like really what it feels like to me. A ticket to self-esteem. This person's going to act innocent here as well. And I think this person may project this out onto you, that you actually innocent, but it's in order to control them. This person feels controlled, and they feel controlled by their attraction to you. And that's not your problem, like, is what I want to say. And I think that you are kind of innocent. Like, I think you're expressing yourself. This is definitely a group where I don't think you realize how sexy or attractive, because there's the energy of Ashleisha. And Ashleisha is girlhood, like budding girlhood, where you start to realize that people look at you differently, you know, because your body is changing, because your energy is changing. And you start to kind of realize that maybe you have a little bit of power over people because of that, but it scares you, and you still aren't really sure about it, or why it's happening, or even how to use it. But like, this person thinks that you do. They think because they feel attracted to you, and because you're probably exploring that new part of yourself where you feel sensual, or you are, you know, you do feel sexy, you do whatever. They think that you are more, that you're intentionally doing that to them in order to control it. So this person has like a fighting kind of a stance between the sexes, is what I'm hearing, but also in terms of like their love relationships, where it's like eat or be eaten. So this person feels like you have power and control over them via your attractiveness, and frankly, some of that is innocence, because this person is seeing you as a very, like, honestly elevated kind of divine being. But this person wants to have control and power over you back, and they are willing to be low in order to do that. So let's just see what this person would say. You have changed me. I feel like that's their game. Like, maybe this person, I don't know. It's like, yeah, you've changed me, and I don't know. Or I'm different now. I'm in a different place now. Literally, this person could have moved. I'm hearing there and back again. They could have like moved away and then come back. You scare the shit out of me. I'm having wild thoughts about you. You have changed me is coming out again, and I wish you wouldn't push me away. Wow, you are beautiful. I feel like this person can be like very complimentary, but in like a cool kind of standoffish, like we're friends, like, wow, look at you. Like, you're, you know, you're this, you're that. Yeah. I love your body. Let's see. This is definitely somebody who could try to take advantage of a situation where you're drinking and your guard is down. And I don't, like, let me just mother hen you for a second. Feel free to tell me where to go with this in your mind. Maybe consider not drinking the last bit of Cancer season, like into Leo season. Make really good and sure that, I don't know. I feel connected to you. I hope you're not with someone else. Let's start over. That's that new beginning. I want more than what we have. Yeah, this to me feels like a friend, like a quote unquote friend. And like I said, I don't necessarily feel like this person is like intentionally nefarious. I just don't think they think about you at all. I don't think they concern themselves with what you might want. Because this person thinks if they did concern themselves with what you might want, it wouldn't be them. This person seems to know that very matter-of-factly. And I think that's something they don't want to look at directly, because it shoots them right back to this place of feeling insecure and having some kind of low self-esteem. And they don't want to be in that place. They're actively trying to run from that place. So this is a person who can't deal with the truth of their own feelings. Because it's not that this person is, you know, not worthy of having good self-esteem, not worthy of having good things. But there's something here that they need to address. And I don't know what it is. It's going to be different for all of them. I definitely think it's... maybe has to do with their family and certain conversations, maybe because of a father, what a father has said to them here in terms of their family, of them not being good enough or them not measuring up. That's another thing. I feel like this person feels like if they came back around, back home to their dad with you on their arm, they would get more respect. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. So just keep that in mind here, pile number 3. Let's get some advice. So just to be clear, in order to sidestep this, you're watching for the time frame at the end of Cancer season. You're looking for a friend who is either not a very close friend to begin with. It's more like broader social networks. You know them, like you kind of know the same people. You've had conversations. It's friendly, but you've never really been close. This is a person who could have been close, but then moved far away, and then maybe is back in town. There's something distant here, like with the friendship. And now this person is seeing an opportunity here with you. They're going to try to seem casual. They're going to come off like this King of Wands. You're going to think, wow, this person really has their shit together. And you haven't looked at this person through that lens before. Like I don't think you've had a crush on this person or anything like that, but they're because you're coming out of your own healing period, because you've been kind of isolated, or because you've gone through some kind of hardship, maybe you've learned a new lesson, you've integrated something, you all of a sudden are like inclined, you are in a position in yourself where you're inclined to look at this person through a different lens. They are actively encouraging that, but through this shape-shifting thing of being the King of Wands. And they have a plan about it. This person, that's like the scariest thing. They have a plan about it. So also this date might be very planned. And that's another thing maybe to watch out for too, where it's like every little thing is kind of planned, and maybe to catch you off guard by trying to get you to sign a loan, like as soon as your guard is down because you're playing with a puppy, like just watch shit like that and stand your ground, know your own pace. Because I think like that's an aspect of yourself too. And it's a beautiful aspect. And it's like you should be able to enjoy this. Because I feel like, again, you've had to be so rigid. But it's like you just kind of want to blow in the wind and not have to worry about something. And maybe you think that going out with a friend is going to give you that ability. But again, not this person. So, yeah. And they are after something long term. So that is another thing. It's like they're not coming off like an F-boy, not necessarily. I mean, I don't know, because King of Wands is sexy, but they're not the Knight of Wands. You know what I mean? This is somebody who has a handle on their sexuality. Yeah, so I think they're giving you all the right kind of, I'm hearing younger than my ex's buddy, act like such a man. So like, yeah, this person's like acting like such a man. So you're like maybe tempted to go with this person. But anyways, that's what I have for you guys. And if you get past this, I also want to say for this pile, I think you have multiple people like this around you, to be clear. And I think maybe they'll just kind of coming out of the woodwork here at the end of Cancer season. Maybe there's something with the timing of this and the ending of your last relationship. For those of you who have gotten out of a breakup, or the ending of like your program or something, where it's like, oh, this is like really serious that you're not getting back with this person. So now I'm going to swoop in and like make my move, something like that. So I don't know, pile number 3, but maybe you want to pick one of the other 2 piles to see, like, once you get through this juncture, you've had your meeting here with this karmic, you've learned your lesson, you've cleared this up, that maybe a different kind of a situation here as well. So that's what I have for you guys, pile number 3. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.